Hello everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Do you like my sweater? I saw a couple of y'all complain down in the comments section. Katie wears the same shirt every single video. Well, I don't like clothes very much, so I have like 4 shirts and they make a heavy rotation. But I bought some new clothes just for y'all. Yay! You can see these for the next year and a half. Today, we will be making Tiffany inspired soap. Namely inspired by the Tiffany box, because the Tiffany box is iconic. It is iconic. It is what every girl dreams of getting on Christmas morning or Valentine's Day. It's so splurgy and over the top. It's one of those things that I don't think anyone realistically believes that they'll get, but you just kind of hold out just a little bit in your heart because it's such a magical thing. At least that's the way I felt. Whenever I heard about Tiffany & Co. for the first time, I was like, oh, because it was in an old movie, and then I acquired knowledge about it later on and was like, it's just the peak of existence. Whenever you hear Santa Baby and she's like, with some decorations bought at Tiffany's, you're like, oh yeah, that would be like the most ridiculous thing I could ask for. So, because most of us are not rich and cannot afford such luxury, I thought, why not make a soap inspired by Tiffany? It's a lot more affordable for most people, and hey, you still get the iconic blue in there. Thanks to Mad Mica's Blue Tide, which is like almost a dead-on representation of that color. So, without further ado, let's make some Tiffany inspired soap. Okay guys, we've got to pour our lye water solution. Every girl in the world wants a piece of Tiffany into our oils. I'm having to get over my anger at my brother who cannot seem to pronounce Tiffany's correctly.
Tiffany's.
Oh, I know you know it's wrong, and I know you're just doing it to irritate me.
But Katie said Tiffany's a minute ago.
I did, because you messed me up so bad I couldn't concentrate. Every girl in the world wants a piece of Tiffany. Let us blend on low until just past emulsion. Now we must split this batter into 2 equal portions. One is going to be white and one is going to be Tiffany blue. Now Tiffany blue is a very specific blue. You probably could find like an exact Pantone shade, and it would take me forever to try to mix that color myself. Lucky for me, Mad Mica's Blue Tide is perfect. It's literally the perfect color. It just needs a little bit of lightening up. So I'm going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide and it's going to be lovely. I say it's perfect based on pictures. I obviously have never had anything from Tiffany in my life, so I'm making educated guesses based on internet pictures.
You guys, the P.O. box is in the description.
I'm afraid Tiffany's is a little too good for me. I don't think I'm quite fancy enough for it, but I would probably die if I ever got anything from there because it's just so iconic. Like I said to you earlier, Kenneth, I think having a piece of Tiffany jewelry is every girl's dream. What an absolute luxury.
It's like that fancy shop in City Folk Animal Crossing.
So like I said, for the 1 bucket, we're going to add titanium dioxide, and then we're also going to add some white into this bucket, but we shall add the blue as well. Blue Tide is my favorite blue of all time because it's not really a true, like, perfect blue color. It's really an aqua, and aqua is just the best. Time to blend these 2 up with my stick blender. She is stunning! I have to pour a little bit of this blue off because I want a full layer of the blue on the bottom of the soap. And now I shall add some fragrance oil. I'm using apple sage from Brambleberry today. Just going to blend that in with my little spatula. I was also trying to account for the fact that this fragrance oil typically does lighten a little bit, so I didn't quite lighten the soap as much as it needs to be. And you can tell just from me mixing it in here here, it's already lightened a little bit. Well, maybe you can't tell at all, but I promise it's there. So let's pour this first layer. I let it thicken up a little bit because, well, y'all know me. I don't want to wait to pour that second layer. I want to pour it now. And now I have to scrapey my little white container. And now for some gold. The gold I am using for this is called King Tut by Mad Micas. I wanted it to look real expensive on the inside. This is the second time I'm actually using this for a soap this month. As you can tell, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's not like this is a new color either. I think they've had this for a really long time. I'm just now discovering it. All right, with the Mica line done, I'm going to clean up the edges of the mold a little bit, and then we're going to mix up the next layer. I've already added the fragrance oil to these two containers. I just have to mix it all in. And then we're actually going to use that first bucket to do the blending. We're gonna start by pouring in a good bit of the white. I'd say 2/3. I'm gonna whiz it around the edges of this container, make sure any uncolored soap is getting in the mix. Then I'm gonna add blue into this corner on this end and only this end. We won't return back to the bucket, so I'm gonna scrapey. And now I'll pour some more white on top of that, and we'll pour into our two molds after this quick commercial break. Now it's time to start pouring, or ladling as it would appear. I'm gonna have to be careful how I do this because I don't want all the blue to be only on one batch. I've cleaned up the edges a little bit. Sorry I didn't talk during that point. I was having to concentrate. And now that it's done, I'm going to mix up our soap frosting.
Be sure to give this video a like if you like the background music.
So right here, I basically have a setup from the Royalty Soaps Soap Frosting Club Box because we have blue Tide in there, and this is exactly what your soap frosting would look like.
It looks like a dessert.
Yeah, it reminds me of those Cookie Monster cookies you can get at Walmart.
Cookie Monster cookies?
Yeah, where they take like 2 little cookies and they make Cookie Monster out of it.
Oh yeah. Katie, speaking of sweet things.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
No, not you. In Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, which of the children do you resonate most with? Augustus?
What are you saying? He treads a dangerous path.
You have German heritage.
Nice save, Bobo. You know, I would have to say, if I have to pick a naughty child, probably Violet Beauregard, because she doesn't shut up. But if I got to pick a sweet one, well, there's only one sweet one. So it's like, I'm a little torn here.
Oh, I was gonna say, Charlie's only nice in the first one. I mean, in the second one, I'm sorry. In the first one, he's kind of a little twerp.
He's not very grateful for his cabbage water.
I'm fed up with cabbage water.
And he definitely goes along with his crazy grandpa's plan to drink those sweet, sweet drinkies.
Yeah, he didn't really stand up for the right thing. Then again, Grandpa Joe hasn't walked in 20 years.
Bedridden when there's work to do. Dances for free chocolate.
Well, I know who Caleb would be.
Who?
Slugworth. Actually, I thought of a better person. He'd be the guy outside the gate where Charlie is just like innocently looking in, and then he says the creepy little rhyme and like pedals away.
What? I don't think so.
In fear of little men.
Nobody goes in. Nobody comes out.
You know who you could be, Kenny?
Whom?
The teacher who pulls on the kid and he's like, class dismissed. Aw, that's who I should be. I should be the candy man. That's who I can be.
Ah, that's actually much better.
Let me give candy to all the world for free. Oh, yes. It is done. Now you guys, I have found the perfect embed on top. Let me get them. Y'all look, it's the iconic white velvet Tiffany bow. I covered this in Phyllis Diller from Mad Mica's to make it look just a little bit more shiny and velvety because it has to match exactly the box, don't you know? Oh my gosh, it's so perfect. It's precious.
Makes me think of a little bow on a dog that somebody got for Christmas.
Like a little, the little like teacup Yorkies or something. I'm actually dying. This is such a cute design. Occasionally, okay, so let me tell you all the way this works. Sometimes I make designs and I think that will be a good soap. It will be pretty, I will like it, everyone's gonna like it. And then occasionally a design comes along that I'm like, now that right there, that is one of my favorites, and I'm surprised. And those ideas always come from the most random places. If you guys remember, one of y'all's favorites last year, and one of my all-time favorites still, was Mosaic Terracotta. And that came out of a dream I had. I literally had a dream, and I designed the soap in a dream, and it's one of my favorites that I've made.
You could say it was a dream come true.
Oh my gosh. I don't think y'all know how truly bizarre it was to wake up from a dream in which I designed soap. It's never happened again, and it was truly surreal. Here's to praying for another one. Truly divine inspiration. I know if I can get a chortle out of Kenny, I've done good. He always goes and breathes out of his nose.
Don't call me out like that.
Now this is adorable, and you could leave it just like this. I have to add a little something because we've got that gold mica line on the inside. I wanted to put something on there that reminded me of Tiffany jewelry, like the jewelry itself, not just the box. So I have covered these precious little hearts in some more of that gold mica, and it's just stunning. I thought these looked like the little hearts that they put on charm bracelets. There's a few little charms that look similar to this. So what say we put 2 on each soap? These are small, so it's going to be pretty delicate work, and I'm not going to be able to shove them in too far with my hands because I don't want to get any gold on the soap. I want it to stay on these hearts. So I'll probably have to come by with a popsicle stick to shove it in further.
They look a little bit like conversational hearts.
I think so too. That was another reason we got them, because Valentine's Day is coming up, which I thought, hey, there are some folks who won't be able to afford a nice, like, really expensive piece of jewelry for their loved ones, so you could get them, an inspirational soap bar and be like, I know it's not Tiffany, however.
There are also plenty of people that don't have a significant other, me, that could maybe enjoy some art.
Agreed. Those people just need to treat themselves. It's really funny because I feel like there's been a culture change surrounding Valentine's Day, where when I was younger, it was super trendy to like have a boyfriend and whatever. But now having like friend Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, that's what they're calling it now, where all the single girls get together, is a really popular, really big deal. And being single on Valentine's Day almost seems more celebrated. I don't know if it's because it's different, and it's like, yeah, having a significant other on Valentine's Day is like the traditional thing to do, but I'm single and ready to rock it. I don't know, but I feel like being single on Valentine's Day is almost more noted now than having a significant other.
Gotta love that countercultural trend. Also, Friendsgiving and Friendmas.
I know, see? It's popping up all over the place.
Lots of people with crummy families are having good times.
Okay, I'm going to spritz the top very, very lightly with rubbing alcohol because I don't want any of this mica to start running down the soap. So I'm gonna hold it up high and I'm just gonna let it fall, let it rest gently upon the soap. And that's it. Tiffany, darling, is done. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I'm so glad I decided to add the little gold hearts because that really does just pull it all together. So we're gonna wait 18 to 24 hours. That will give the soap enough time to lighten up a little bit, both on the inside and on the outside, to get that perfect shade of Tiffany blue. Then we'll take a peek at the inside after this quick commercial break. Isn't she lovely? Look at the blue. It lightened up just enough that it actually looks like the box. I've had to lay it on its side because I just know I'm going to end up messing something up if I don't. Oh, jeez. One must be very strong. Let's take a peek at the inside. Ooh, okay, so first of all, don't worry about this. Those little yellow bits will go away. That's sometimes what happens whenever the soap colorant needs to oxidize after it has been inside. It's hitting the air for the first time. It will turn the right color. And you can see there's the little goldy line down at the bottom that matches the gold hearts on the side. And then of course we have the swirl. It looks very similar to the Winter Wonderland soap when it comes to this swirl. I love how matchy-matchy this soap is. It's very rare for me to stick to only two colors. I think the point is definitely gotten across though. It looks like the Tiffany box. You've never seen a Tiffany box? Really?
Nope, never seen a Tiffany box, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? Maybe it's not as popular as I thought it was.
I'll slap up a picture and me and the audience can find out at the same time what it looks like.
Okay, so that totally changes the question of the day because now you've made me second guess myself. The question of the day is, have you ever heard of Tiffany & Co? I guess I should say, are you guys familiar with it? Because maybe you've heard about it, but you don't really know what it is. Like, did you know that was a company that made jewelry? Like, it's really ritzy and fancy. It was talked about in movies. Like, I want to know. Be sure to let me know by clicking the eye in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This is definitely something that I need to know. Am I just so out of touch? If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe if you'd like to see more like it. And if you would not like to see more like it, hey, thanks for sticking around this long and I'm glad I could snag you for one view.
Don't subscribe!
Just don't. I would rather have nobody subscribe than get hate comments.
Whoever's doing all those downvotes, unsubscribe!
We see you in the first 30 minutes. There's always like 10 people. It's like the first 30 minutes, they're like, boo! I prefer to think of it as a bot. I prefer to think that nobody's that cruel. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, no matter how big or small. Maybe you have something really awesome planned with your friends. Y'all are gonna go out, do some shopping, do some eating, come back, watch a movie, have a sleepover, and that's something I would consider to be rather a big thing. Or maybe you just need to do a little tiny thing, like going away to be by yourself for 5 minutes because, oh my gosh, all of your co-workers are so annoying. Kenny laughs because he's my only co-worker. Either way, do something that makes you happy and I'll see you guys soon for the next video. So until then, bye for now. Meow.
Breakfast at what?
Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's what this soap is kind of based on.
Don't you mean timpanis?
Have you lost your ever-loving
I thought that
mind?
this was based on Tiffany, the company.
Ooh.